Hello, welcome back to the channel. So glad to have you join me today as we continue on in our study of the end time prophecy of the Bible, of the book of Revelation. We're going to begin at verse 1, and we read, "Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 who had his name and his father's name written on their foreheads." So, the Lamb is Jesus Christ. Mount Zion is the earthly Jerusalem during the millennium. Now, the 144,000 are the ones that we identified back in the study in chapter 7. Now, chapter 14 is intended to give encouragement concerning the certainty of Christ's victory over the beast. Let's go on at verse 2. "And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harps harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of God." So the 144,000 sing a new song of worship and redemption. The four beasts and elders are the same as the ones we looked at back in chapter 4 in the study. That the 144,000 were virgins indicates moral and religious purity, because they refused to submit to the false religious system of the false prophet. They follow the Lamb and reign with him. Now, as the first fruits of the redeemed, they are the first to be saved during the tribulation period, following the rapture of the church. Now, a characteristic of the redeemed is that they are without guile or falsehood. Now, this refers to their rejection of the false claims of the Antichrist concerning himself. That they are without fault or without blemish means that they are ethically blameless. All right, let's go on verse 6. "And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." So the everlasting gospel is the good news that Christ will win and the beast will be judged. Now, positively, it focuses on redemption through Christ and his coming kingdom. Negatively, it has three parts. 1, the hour of judgment is come. And 2, Babylon is fallen. And 3, those who worship the beast will be punished forever. Now, the whole world is commanded to fear and worship God and to give glory to him. The identity and destruction of Babylon will be described when we get to chapters 17 and 18. Now, the announcement here indicates the later events. All right, let's go on verse 9. "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascends up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night. And who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. So unbelievers during the tribulation will receive the mark of the beast and worship him. They will all receive God's eternal punishment in the lake of fire. The wine of the wrath of God is God's righteous anger, poured out in full strength, without mixture or undiluted, on those who reject him. The cup of his indignation symbolizes the place of God's punishment of sinners. The fact that his torment will take place in the presence of Christ and his angels makes this punishment even more intense and shameful. They will pay the eternal price of having chosen Satan and evil over God and righteousness. Let's go on, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. Patience here is perseverance, or you could say endurance. The assurance of the judgment of God's enemies is a basis for the perseverance of the tribulation believers to continue following Christ. Now, the perseverance of genuine believers in the faith and in the commandments of God is assumed and guaranteed. The dead which die in the Lord from henceforth are tribulation martyrs. They will be blessed through rest, resurrection, and reigning with Christ during the millennium. They will receive a reward for their works of obedience. Now let's go on at verse 16. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud, and upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. So the Son of Man is Jesus Christ, the Messiah. The cloud relates to Christ's second coming. The crown pictures him as the ruler of the earth. And the sickle symbolizes judgment as an instrument of harvest. The time has come to finish the judgment of the earth. The second coming of Christ includes more judgment. To reap and harvest the earth is to judge and punish its people. Let's go on to verse 17. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the altar which had power over fire, and cried with a loud cry to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. All right. Whereas verses 14 through 16 pictured Christ's judgment as a grain harvest, verses 17 through 20 symbolize the wrath of God as a grape harvest, with the treading of the grape clusters in an immense wine press. Again, the sickle depicts judgment. The clusters of the vine of the earth represent the unbelievers of the earth, those who have followed and worshiped the beast. Her grapes are fully ripe, meaning in their prime. In that time for God's judgment of the earth is now. The great winepress of the wrath of God pictures the violence and intensity of God's coming judgment on the earth. Now, the city is Jerusalem, where the greatest intensity of judgment will be centered in Palestine. Maybe the reference is to the coming battle of Armageddon. The blood is the literal human blood resulting from the final battle. The amount of the blood that results from the winepress emphasizes the severity of the judgment. 1,600 furlongs equates to approximately 184 miles, which ironically is the full length of Palestine. The height of the horses' bridles is about 4 feet. The winepress may be in anticipation of the vial or bowl judgments of chapter 16. All right, this brings us to the end of chapter 14. Next week, we'll pick up our study in chapter 16. Hope that you're enjoying the study and finding some benefit from it. Please be sure to like if you like the video, comment. I enjoy hearing from you guys. If I can pray for you, please send your prayer requests to me. My email address is all lowercase and will be at the end of this video. I hope you guys had a blessed Christmas, and I hope that you look forward to a blessed new year in the coming days. Take care of yourselves. Blessings to you. Have a great weekend. Hope to see you in the next video.